Nikolaj, you've got a big day today with a lot of announcements. Catch us up.
Well, we are very excited to launch BOS 3, Bragi OS, and the Dash Pro and Dash Pro tailored by Starkey. And we'll also show a product called the Patch that we will launch later this year, and a bit of things that we do in research on the audiovisual side, so on glasses.
On glasses?
Yes. Well, the future of computing is really in ambient, in ear and eye computing. And ambient, it could be either on or off the body. So we're looking at these three categories. You see a product like Amazon's Echo being in the ambient computing side. You see Bragi Dash as being the ear computing side, and something like the HoloLens on being on the eye computing side. Now, we think that the future is going to be much leaner than that. So we are presenting things that we're doing in all three categories, and a bit about how we find the future will be.
Are you thinking about combining, somebody might wear both eyes and ears, glasses and hearable, and combine the two?
I think they will. For us right now, it's research more than it's product development, but we are showing how we see that, how the current Dash actually can work as a brain for slim glasses, that you apply what we call mesh computing. So taking multiple tiny computers, combining them together into one virtual computer that shares all the sensors and all the processing. So we see that mesh computing is really the way forward to enable better experiences in body-worn computers. Bragi OS is not just about the ear. It's about very efficiently being able to sense and process across devices. So the glasses we won't launch. We'll just show that we're working on it. But what we will launch later this year is a product called the Patch, which is a less than an inch long, small sensor that has motion sensors inside and a few other things we won't disclose today. But it's also capable of doing wireless mesh connectivity and mesh computing and mesh sensing.
So you potentially use that for the Patch, yeah.
Yeah, for interaction. So that as a shortcut, you could put it on your wrist. With a single tap, you open Amazon Alexa in the future. With a double tap, you might open your door. If you put it on the foot, it can be used for improving the metrics on your running or swimming, get a better resolution. It could also be used off the body, where it can be used to identify if your door opens as a remote control for your TV that can be embedded into a different object. So we see this as a distributable computer that can be used pretty much anywhere. And that is being integrated into the Bragi mesh computing capabilities.
So you don't see the Patch as a standalone device. It's more of a meshed companion to whether it's glasses or a hearable or both.
Or your phone. It doesn't really matter. It's tiny devices that increase the contextual awareness, are interaction devices, and can be placed different places across the house, across work. It can be used as beacons in the future, so you can know where you're entering and give that information. So it's a platform for distributed mesh computing.
That's interesting. One of the things that's going on in Voice UI, both Google and Amazon, and of course now Microsoft, is a move to put at least microphones, if not speakers, everywhere in the house, not just where the one Echo is. And so obviously, if it's on your wrist, it's where you are, wherever you are, which is what they're trying to do.
Yeah, well, it could be on the wrist but also just for interaction. You tap it and the ears gets a connection and activates Alexa, so you don't have to press anything there, or it's either like a shortcut, an activator, or enabling the system to know more about what you do to help you out while you do it. As an example, if you only have a sensor in the ear, and the sensor can identify either if you are leaning forward or falling over, but for the sensor it looks the same. So if you're falling over or leaning forward, it's the same motion.
Right.
If you have a sensor in your hip, it will actually know whether you're leaning forward or falling over. So the more sensors you have, the more it can know about what you do and understand if it's the right thing that it sees or not.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, there's so much possibility, isn't there?
Yeah, and it's not just for like a technical gimmick, but it might be things that actually saving lives at some point, or helping people to do something they couldn't do before.
Right.
And that's what it's about. It's about wearable computers, not necessarily to measure how many steps you take, because that's, I think, pretty uninteresting.
Mm-hmm.
But using the sensors to get a better understanding of what you need. And I find that very exciting.
Yeah, and you and I have talked about that before. It's what you want is actionable insight, and you're not going to get that from how many steps you walk each day.
No, and you need more sensors across the body. Right now it's a bit less than an inch long, and it will be much, much smaller in the future. So you'll see these become what we call disappearables, things you can't see anymore, but they're still there.
We're sort of tiptoeing a little bit into wellness here with, the ability to know more about you and then help you make better health and wellness choices. I did want to explore that with the Dash Pro tailored by Starkey. I think that's an interesting sort of juxtaposition into some new markets, some health markets, and also potentially maybe audiophile too, yes?
I think that's a very good approach, but I think there's even bigger potential for firefighters, police, defense, mining, construction workers, anyone who need to be collaborating hands-free and eyes-free. And specifically having knowledge, if looking at a military or firefighter approach, if everyone has body-worn sensors and intercom in the ears, the captain can know who is well, who's in panic, who is on top of the situation, who's hurt. Is there someone lying down? Is the carbon monoxide level at a too high level? If you get hit by a bomb on the road for military applications, who's actually capable of taking command? If you're looking at training, documentation, let's think about assembly for automotive. If you want to document what you've done, rather than walk over to a computer and push buttons, you can just tell the conversational agent that, well, I did this step and I'm done now. And that's going into the ERP system, like an Oracle or SAP. So the applications here are much wider than just audiophile. Audiophile is important. I myself love audio. Whether I'm good enough to hear it is a different thing. But the applications are really intercom, identification, qualification, documentation in a business-to-business environment.
So one of the key advantages of tailored by Starkey is the fit. So that would apply, I guess, to military, certainly police, fire. How would I draw the line between whether I'd want a Dash Pro for my industrial application or Dash Pro tailored by Starkey?
I think it very much depends on the fit. When we made the Dash and the Dash Pro, we believe that we have an amazing fit that is just really good for many people. But in order to get the seal, you still have a silicone sleeve that pushes the inside of the ear. So if you don't feel that you have problems with in-ear headphones that push through the silicone sleeve, just take the standard Dash. It will be great. for you. If you want to have something that you use for a very long time, use it every day as a professional tool, you get something that's made for you. There's no pressure points. It just fits every single time the same way. As an example, my right ear is much bigger from the ear canal than the left one. So if I'm not knowledgeable about how to make a fit with different sizes of sleeves, I won't get the experience that I need. The sound won't be as intended. So the tailored approach really gives a benefit. On top of that, if you are a musician, if you are if you're an artist, if you are an athlete, the better fit also ensures that it just stays snugly right where it should be. It does not rely on it being pushed in somewhere. It just perfectly aligns to your ear. On top of that, when the artist creates the tailored dash, he actually places the optical sensors in the right spot towards the skin. So it's aligned perfectly to get the best kind of metrics. Both products are good. I personally would rather like a tailored product, but that's also because I'm a bit of a product snob and I love things that are made for me.
Right, so that makes sense. So with Starkey now, you were kind of taking a step to merging these two product categories, hearables and hearing aids. I realize it's still a small step, but having them in the same shop when you walk in is an interesting juxtaposition. Where do you see that going?
Well, let's look at the basics of a hearing aid. A hearing aid enables you to partake in life financially, culturally, and socially. And that is very important. If you can't hear, you often can't make money. You're limited in education. You're limited in earnings. You're limited in whom you can actually speak with. My uncle suffers from severe hearing loss, and only through a hearing aid he could actually have the job that he had. Now, if you've applied that to much wider kind of applications, you see where this is going. So it's not about the severe hearing loss, it's about the mild hearing loss. It will be about tinnitus treatment, it will be about sleep treatment. It will be about wellness in terms of or well-being. And having 5,000 audiologists from the get-go promoting and selling the Dash Pro Tailor by Starkey is a huge win for us. And Starkey and Bragi will in the future expand upon the functionality that makes sense for this kind of product. So it's not a hearing instrument like a hearing aid. It might be a hearing enhancer, but the product is capable of doing it also through software updates.
So I have the original Dash, and when you put it in transparency mode, it does, enhance things. It amplifies things. So at the very least, that even with normal hearing, that helps with some situations. Yes.
In Bragi 3, we have upped that a bit. We are introducing super hearing. So you actually have the capability of amplifying your surroundings more than on the historical 2.2 operating system.
Oh, good. And so that starts downloading today then?
Today, you'll be able to download Bragi 3, and in there you'll have the super hearing, you will have mesh computing, mesh sensorics that's embedded inside. You'll have embedded artificial intelligence, like a neural network that identifies what you do. So whether you're running, biking, or swimming, and auto tracks you. And then, of course, we'll have on the mixed reality side the super hearing and the real-time translation.
Okay, very interesting. Now, what are your thoughts for the future on tracking sleep? You can't really wear a Dash all night. I don't think you would want to.
Well, if you look at sleeping, it's much smaller than many of the other things. And I think medicine is great when you need it, but I do think that our society is supplied by medicine. Many times it would take something that we shouldn't be taking. I do think that the dash, specifically when it's tailored, is the right form factor that you easily could sleep with it.
Okay.
So you know, it's not for tomorrow. It's something that's down our roadmap.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So Bragi OS, or Boss, you could just call it Boss, is available. You do? Okay, good. I will too. So Boss 3.0 is available for download today for folks who have the Dash. When can I buy a Dash Pro or a Dash Pro tailored by Starkey?
You can buy them as of today. You can go online and look for an audiologist and get a fitting today, and it takes 7 to 10 days to deliver the product. So the process is you go in, you get a fitting, you ensure that it fits perfectly in your ear. That fitting or impression is being sent to Starkey, and it's made in the US. So in Minneapolis, they are custom making the product for you by hand, by people who are very experienced in doing that. It's a very tricky job. And after 7 to 10 days, you get your customized product back. It will be your name on it. So what you'll be getting, I got mine today, my third one. So you get it delivered with the gentleman who actually made it. So this is made by Toto. And when you open the box, you get, so I'm taking that out. And you will get your personalized version. I've got mine with my name on it. And everyone gets that. And then you have your personalized device. It says my name on it.
Oh, nice.
And you see my left ear canal is much smaller.
Oh, it is.
Than my right one. So this is perfectly made for my ear. It's a piece of art. I'm very proud with what we have achieved together with Starkey.
And so it's available at 5,000 locations in the US and Canada?
In the US, you can go on Bragi.com. There's a store locator, and you can get in and get an impression, and we will do first come, first serve. We will also launch the Dash Pro by Bragi today, and it will ship within the next 14 days, pending on demand.
Okay, perfect. What can't you believe I didn't ask you?
I think that we came well through. So we did the mesh computing part, we did the glasses and the patch. We talked about embedded AI and the 40 menu. We spoke about mixed reality with super hearing and with the translation. So I think we're all through. Overall, on every single part of the product, it's really engineered from the inside out. It's made to improve the Bluetooth performance, improve the audio performance, improve the battery life, on all the topics that people have been asking us about. Bragi OS 3 or Boss 3 is the first time that I'm aware that anyone has delivered a mesh computing, mesh sensing operating system that actually runs on a product.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any either.
Nope.
All right, well, I can't wait to download Boss 3 and try it out later.
Awesome.
Nikolaj, thanks as always for your time. I really appreciate both the time and the insight.
Well, thank you very much for asking me, and a pleasure to be there.
And thank you for your time. Until next time. Bye.
Next time. Bye.